Hi everyone, this is Mr. Maneno from Gainesville Middle School, and today I'm going to shoot a little two-part video on doing population density. So our goal overall is we've got a little bit of over an acre of woods on my property, and I want to try to determine what percentage of, what kind of trees there are here. What percentage of my trees are oaks, maples, poplars, that kind of thing. So the first thing we need to do is figure out how big the woods is. And then once we know that, we can do a random sample to try to determine what kind of trees we have. So there are a lot of ways to do this. So to figure out how big the woods is, what I did is I laid down a couple of meter sticks and I stepped and I tried to measure how big each one of my steps is. And I found that if I take a step, it's about 65 centimeters. So then what I did is I stepped down from our property, which is where that fence is, all the way down to where the wood starts. And I found out that took me 100 steps. All right, so 100 steps at 65 centimeters. I did the math and figured that out. Then going back into the woods to where our property stopped, I stepped that off and I saw that that was 35 steps. So this section of woods is 100 steps by 35 steps. The section of woods we own over here is 115 steps to where it ends, and it is 75 steps going across this way. So I really broke our area into two pieces. Now I'm going to try to figure out the area of those two plots. All right, so I've already stepped this off. So let me show you here how to do this math. So here on this whiteboard, I've kind of laid out our situation. So this is the wooded path here behind me. This is the wooded path over to my left. All right. So with a calculator, I can figure this out pretty quickly, I hope. So this plot here behind me was 100 steps. So it's 100 steps times 65 centimeters per step. So 65 centimeters. Or excuse me, 6,500 centimeters or 65 meters, so 65 meters this way. All right, and then across was 35 steps, so I'm going to do 35 steps times 65 centimeters was 2275 centimeters, or I'll just round that up to 23 and say that's 23 meters. All right, so this plot here behind me is 23 meters times 65 meters, which will give me 1495 square meters. All right, and then the plot to my left was 115 steps across, so 115 times 65 centimeters per step is right under 75 meters long. And then its width was 75 steps. I'm going to do 75 steps times 65 centimeters. And of course we can measure this out. It's just quicker to step it off. And that's 48.75 meters, or I'm just going to round that up to 49 meters. All right, so now my area there is 49 times 75 meters. And I get 3,675 meters squared. All right, so we've got the plot of woods behind me that's 1,495 meters square. The plot to my left, 3,675 meters square. If I add these two together, plus 1,495. All right, so approximately my whole wooded area is about 5,170 square meters. All right, so that's how much we have. I did do a little research and I found out that an acre is about 4,047 square meters, and that's about right. We have a little over an acre of woods here where I live. So now that I've got this, I've got my area of woods figured out, I can try to plot my next thing, which is setting up some random sample plots and try to figure out what kind of trees we have growing here. So I'll show you that in part 2, but let me just leave this where it is and then get on to identifying the trees. All right, so stay tuned for part 2.